Hello everyone, it's Veronica and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a book on haul video for you guys. I have many books today to show you guys. You can kind of already see the stack here. I have a stack here and a mini stack on the left side of me. I just want to get started. These are all the books that I plan to... I actually don't know anymore. I didn't really categorize this very well. I can tell you I'm definitely throwing that away. Sheesh. Not literally. This first section is books that I am probably gonna sell on Pango. Pango, if you guys don't know, you can sell books or book-related items. We're just gonna get started. Majority of these are books that I have read. There are maybe one or two duplicates here and there. I would say only 4 books are unread. This first book is Iron Widow by Xiran Zhao. This one is, I think, the Fairy Loot. It's the Illumicrate Special Edition. It is signed. It's got sprayed edges. It's the exclusive as well. It's got the dust jacket art in the back and then a little print on the actual hardcover. I gave this 3 stars. 3 or 3.5, sorry, not 4 star. One of the things that I just found was that it was not a lot of action, and I wanted more action with this, so I unfortunately didn't really get that from this, sadly, but I thought it was pretty good, and I'm selling this because this was pretty good, but I just don't think I would continue with the series physically, and honestly, I'll most likely read this. I think I read this on Kindle. I actually don't remember. No. I read this physically, actually. I read this physically, finished it physically, but honestly, I would, for book 2, when it comes out, I'd most likely read it on my Kindle or borrow it from the library, whichever. So I just don't really see myself continuing with this series physically. The next book is actually already on Pango Books, but it just hasn't sold. If you're interested, like I said, my Pango will be down below. The next book is The Doctor by Nikki Sloane. I actually already read this, I think last year, the whole series. These are age gap, spicy romance. Nikki Sloane really does it so well. I think I gave this 4 stars. 4 stars, I believe? I actually don't remember, but I really enjoyed the whole series. They were really hot. I think The Architect was my favorite, but I really don't remember what was my favorite. But I know I enjoyed this. This is the Bookworm Box Special Edition cover, first off. Special Edition cover. It also has the author letter, which is included into the book. I'll include it with the book. And it's also got her signature, which is amazing. So you guys will be able to get that, which is really nice. And next I have Our Crooked Hearts by Melissa Albert. This is a naked hardback itself. There was no dust jacket, but it's got special art. It's also signed. This is the Bookish Box Special Edition. This one, I have the audiobook borrowed on Scribd, so I can read it anytime, and I just don't know if it's really up my alley at the moment because it's YA fantasy and I just don't know if I'm really that into it, but I will make sure to read it at some point. But right now, it's just not something I want to read, so this is a book that I did not read. Next, I have Meghan Quinn books. Now, I should say Meghan Quinn is my favorite author, but these are duplicates. First, I have A Not So Meet Cute. Then I have So Not Meant to Be. And I have Royally Not Ready. These are duplicates. These are unread duplicates. I have the illustrated versions, and I will show you guys. So I have all of the illustrated editions on my shelves, but I'll just show you Royally Not Ready. These are basically the same covers. They're in hardback, by the way. They're the illustrated collection. They have really cute art. I'll show you guys something in the front, so that's not really spoilery. This is on page 2, okay? So they have art, which is what really just attracted me in the first place. I'm really excited. That's why I there's really not a big difference in what it looks like on the actual cover if you see side by side. So there's not a big difference, but I'm keeping the illustrated version because they're special, they're illustrated, and I can always highlight or whatever on a hardback. It's the same thing. And these are just the regular edition. These are the actual men on the cover, and they're the same men, just this one is an illustrated man, and the illustrated version of him instead. So I'd rather keep this just because it's got the illustrations. It's more special. So I haven't read these books yet, but they're definitely something I want to read and hopefully highlight. So those are the Meghan Quinn books, Royally Not Ready, A Not So Meet Cute, and So Not Meant to Be. The next two books are also duplicates. It is The Spanish Love Deception and The American Roommate Experiment. The American Roommate Experiment. This was the very first copy that I bought. I loved The Spanish Love Deception. 5 stars. I haven't read The American Roommate Experiment yet, but why I'm getting rid of these is because I bought the signed edition of both of these books. So, The Spanish Love Deception is somewhere on my TBR cart, but this is the signed edition for The Spanish Love Deception, which I'll show you guys. Here it is. It even says to Veronica, which makes it even more special. And so it's duplicates, and I would rather keep the signed edition. And if I reread this in the future, I can also annotate, and it'll be even just more special. So I'm keeping the signed editions, and I will be selling the just the regular editions on Pango Books. I know like people would love to get these books, so I'll be selling those. Next, I have the regular editions of Kingdom of the Wicked and Kingdom of the Cursed, books 1 and 2. I have the exclusives of all 3 books, so I don't really have the need to keep the regular editions. I did annotate them on my Kindle. That's how I originally read them. So I'll be transferring my highlights from my Kindle to the physical books, but I don't need duplicate copies of these books, so I'll be selling books 1 and 2. Next, I will be selling these, the discrete versions of the Sinner Saint series by Sierra Simone. I have read Sinner and Priest, or I don't actually remember which 2 books I read, but I know I haven't read Midnight Mass, which is the novella, and I think I didn't read Priest. As my Goodreads loads, I should mention the reason why I am unhauling these is because I already own the series on my Kindle, so I just don't feel the need to have it physically. And you know, as much as I love the discrete versions, I just don't find myself feeling the need to own these anymore. And the feeling, I just don't need it physically. Like, as much as I love the discrete versions, they're so pretty, I just know that the next time I will be rereading this it's gonna be on Kindle. And that's how I originally read the first 2 books. Goodreads is not loading, so I don't know which books they are. So I'm unhauling these. They're gonna go to a special person who wants the discrete series. This is the whole series, by the way. If you want the series, you're gonna have to buy the whole. Okay, so book 1 is Sinner and book 2 is Priest. So the only ones that I did not read are Saint and Midnight Mass. Priest I gave 5 stars. Sinner I gave 4 stars. I do need to reread Sinner and Priest, and then I will dive into the whole series again. I did read these 2 in 2020, so I am gonna reread it, and then I will continue with the series, and I'm really excited. Next, these are the books that I'm giving to the library. I should mention, I am currently reading these 3 books. I'm currently reading Heartbones, It Ends With Us, and All Your Perfects. And I have read Ugly Love, which I gave 3 stars, Verity, which I gave 3.5, and then November 9, which I gave 4 stars. I ended up just not reading it physically, so I don't think it's worth keeping the physical books. I am doing a Colleen Hoover experiment video where I do go in depth with my thoughts. So even though I'm currently reading these 3 books, and they will be in an experiment video, so I'm gonna mark these in this video as a read book that I am selling or that I am unhauling. I would like to give all of these to the library, and I should say, if these books on Pango Books are there for another month, and they haven't been purchased by someone, then I will be giving it to the library. But for the first month, I will have it listed on Pango. So if you guys are interested, do act fast, or else I will be taking it down and I will be unhauling it and giving it to the library. Okay, guys? So, you know, make sure you guys pick it up fast. Alright? First, I have Winter's Orbit by Everina Maxwell. This one I gave 3 stars, I think. It was average. I listened to it on Audible because I think I either own it or I borrowed it. I don't remember. But I listened to it and I didn't like it. I didn't care for it. It was sci-fi LGBT romance, and I just didn't care. First off, it was just I didn't like the characters. The big reason I just didn't like the characters. I think they were just immature. At least one of them was. I think that's just how I remember it. But in general, I think you guys should read this, but I didn't like it. And like I said, these are my opinions of these books, so even if I give it a 3 or 3.5, I would still recommend 3s. Even though I didn't like it, doesn't mean you can't not like it, you know? So, you know. Even if this is your favorite book, like I said, it was just my opinion of this book. Next, I have She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Parker Chan. I gave this 3.5. I just read it. 3.5, I did. A lot of talking, a lot of history, background, and I didn't really care for that. This one, I am gonna list it on Pango for now, but I just feel like this isn't as popular, so if it doesn't do well in like 2 or 3 weeks, I'm just gonna unhaul it and give it to the library, which is why it's in this section and not in the Pango books section, I should specify. Next, I have Portrait of a Thief by Grace D. Lee. This one was a 3.5 star as well, as I believe. Let me check. Yeah, 3.5. Again, more action. I wanted more of the heist. And this was a lot of the technical, the history, the background, why we're doing the heist, or why each character was doing the heist. And I just didn't care for that. I wanted more action, more heist. It's said to be like Ocean's 11, but I should say Ocean's 11 had more heist-related things. This one was all very background, technical things, and I just wanted more about how the heist went, what happened after, or how they prepared for the heist. That's what I wanted. But, you know, this was still pretty good. I did listen to the audiobook, so, you know, I would say listen to the audiobook. Next, I have these 3 books. These are Harlequin books, and they are the Operation K9 Brothers series by Sandra Owens. We have Operation K9 Brothers, which is book 1. That's gonna fall. Then we have Keeping Guard, and then we have Mountain Rescue. So these ones I gave all 4 stars. They were really cute, really good. These are definitely very light primarily romantic suspense. And I mean, these are Harlequin suspense, so technically, yeah, it is a category, but, you know, don't go expecting to get really good, intense mystery and suspense behind this. It's Harlequin, okay? The plot is basically more romance than suspense. But I really enjoyed it. It was quick and easy to read. I know that, like, some people might enjoy these, so I will be giving this to the library for people to enjoy. They're still pretty good condition, so, I mean, they're not too bad. But, I mean, I gave it 4 stars. It wasn't bad, but I think if I were to reread it, which I doubt, it would be on ebook. The last book is a Book of the Month book. It is Valentine by Elizabeth Wetmore. This one I gave 3 stars, and it deals with a lot of race and sexual assault, rape, you know, those things. Those just trigger warnings that I highly recommend you guys look into. But I read the audiobook, I listened to the audiobook, so I think if you guys were to go into this book, audiobook, it just makes it more intense. And I was cleaning the house while I was reading this, and I just had to sit down and be like, okay, let me process this again. It was just, it hits the race, it hits the sexual assault concerns really well, pretty well in this book. I will be unhauling this to the library because I haven't heard anybody talk about this, so I don't, like, if I were to put this on my Pango, it'd probably be there for like a year or so, because I don't know anybody who has talked about this book at all. This was still pretty good, and I would highly recommend this through audiobook though. Audiobook was the way to go with this book. It made it really more intense. And those are all the books that I have read. Oh, Ooh, that is actually a lie. I skipped a book. Or two. Did I skip 2 books? Oh yeah, I skipped 2 books. Oh my god, I don't... Okay, you know what? The other book is buried under a lot of books, so I'm unhauling this book, Blades and Bullets by Onyx Smith. I hated that book. I gave it 0 stars, but because it's Goodreads, I had to rate it 1 star, so you guys could avoid this book. I must say, I have read Wattpad books with 10 times better quality, better plot, better characters that have the similar synopsis. Teenage assassins where they fall in love, you know, they have to kill each other but they fall in love anyway. I've read those plots better than this book, and you know what, Wattpad does have good quality books. I mean, I haven't read Wattpad since middle school, so I can't say how it is now, but it was just, this book was so bad. Don't read this. I'm telling you guys, this is a warning. Do not read that book. It was so bad. Just go and browse Wattpad. You can find better books with the similar plot point of like assassins trying to kill each other but fall in love. Okay, I'm telling you, you can search it, okay? This was just so bad. It was so bad. Last book, in a better note, I am not really unhauling this. I'm giving it to my dad's library, and it's The Many Daughters of Moi by Jamie Ford. This, I read it for my Asians Under a Typhoon book club, but I no longer need it. I gave it 3 or 3.5 stars. It's pretty good. I enjoyed it. I mentioned it in my live show for this book and even in my Goodreads review. So all I'm going to say is that I wanted more of the characters because they were just simply cut off short. And so I highly recommend going to my Goodreads if you really want to know my general thoughts. But I think I gave this 3 or 3.5. I would highly recommend it still. It was still pretty good, but I just don't feel the need for me to keep it. And I think giving it to my dad's library, which they might enjoy more than I would. And those are all the books that I have read. Y'all, I feel so much better. My chair is finally empty. And this is just really me going through all of these books, reading them, being able to unhaul it. This October has really just been a month of reading physically, and I'm really proud of myself in the fact that I've been able to read this many books and the fact that I'm able to unhaul of these books. I mean, I should mention, you know, some of these books I did, you know, read in September or something like that, like Winter's Orbit. I think I read in August, so, you know, it's been a while, or probably longer, to be honest. I actually don't remember when I read it, but, you know, it's finally being unhauled, and I can't wait. I cannot wait. Thank you guys so much for coming to this video. If you guys enjoy this, give it a thumbs up, and also hit the red subscribe button down below if you guys do enjoy this video. I would love to, you know, as I continue reading, just uploading more book unhauls. I know in a month I'm gonna read a few books that I might not enjoy or simply know that I'm not going to reread. So, you know, if I just upload, you know, short, maybe 15-minute book unhaul videos, I'd be happy with that and slowly just unhaul them rather than have like 100 books or 200 like my last video. So slowly just unhauling them and bringing them where I need to be, and I can just finally get rid of them, slowly get rid of them. Like my TBR cart has a lot of books that I would like to unhaul, and so slowly as I continue reading these, hopefully I can just continue to unhaul, and that would be really, really good. Thank you guys. I will hopefully see you guys next Saturday in my next video. I would like to at least get 10 or 20 books in a book unhaul video. I don't know how many books this was, but I would say still pretty good. I only had maybe 3 or 4 books that I didn't read, and I mean, some of them are currently reading, so I mean, it's not too bad. But thank you guys again. Give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys all next video. Thank you guys so much for coming. Bye!